Hello there, it's Nikki Harman from the Inner Space Project, and I'm sitting in a really lovely quiet churchyard which is just catching a bit of the late afternoon sun here, and I can hear birds and just sort of tweeting away in the background behind me, and the odd car coming round the corner. It's just a really pleasant afternoon, really lovely to just sit here and waste some time and daydream for a little while and watch the world go by. But it occurred to me the other day when I was chatting to some students that I was teaching about how whenever we look at doing meditations and teach each other meditations and talk about being mindful, people often tend to retreat into nature to talk about the sea and the waves and the ocean and trees and the green grass and just being somewhere quiet and peaceful and tranquil. Never heard anyone yet talk about sitting in a crowded train station practicing a meditation or a mindfulness, because it tends to be the opposite of peace and tranquility, and people, I think, want that tranquility and that peace and are looking for that within themselves, which says a lot about us as a society in general, that although we lead very busy lives, we seek that quiet and that peace within us. And so that's why meditation can be really helpful. Even when you're sitting in a crowded train station, you can practice finding that inner peace and that tranquility. And as that saying goes about, if you can find the peace within when there's chaos all around you, then that's being able to find that mindful moment, that moment of presence, and acknowledging the noises around you and the whatever's going on at the time, but also finding that peace within you and just accepting that peace and accepting the noise as well, and letting it sort of wash over you, letting it being aware of it but letting it go rather than holding on to it, and maybe feeling that build up of tension and stress that you can get. If I know I sometimes do that feeling of if I'm in London, busy streets, busy tube station, busy train station, wherever, it can be quite overwhelming sometimes. And I lived in London for quite a number of years and got into that mode of just feeling that sort of tension whenever I got onto the train or whatever, wherever I was, and recognising the difference of sitting on an empty platform waiting for a train and how quiet everything was, and you could hear the bird song, I could hear quiet conversation and the sound of shoes on gravel or shoes on the ground as people were walking up and down steps, things like that, just to sort of hear and pick up on, which of course you wouldn't hear if it was rush hour, busy trains coming in and out of the station and across the platform and all that kind of stuff. So just being able to stop and take a moment, even if it is really busy where you are, just to find that peace within you and see if you can practice finding that peace within, because it's there. Sometimes you have to look a little bit harder or listen or feel for it a little bit harder, but it's always there somewhere. And sometimes you need to dig a little deeper, but yes, it's there. So wherever you are today on your busy day, even if you're sat at your computer, you haven't got out of the house, or out, working at home or out of your office or doing something, just stop and give yourself a moment to see if you can find that peace within you before you carry on with your day again. So I'm available if you'd like to do Skype. I can do meditations over Skype, or I can do one-to-ones or group sessions. I go to people's workplaces as well as into schools and other organisations. So just get in touch with me at innerspaceproject.com, and I'd love to hear from you. Have a lovely evening. Bye.